So good morning, welcome to another RiderCamTV video, and today I'm out on my bike in this grotty weather. Look at it, it's disgusting. Out on my bike, my 1250 GSA 2022, something like that. Beautiful bike, but I'm going to be talking to you about these tyres today. Now I have had I've had Michellin Pilot 6s on my bike for a while, and they were incredible tyres. I can't knock them, I really can't. They're sticky, they were really good. In the wet, I've lost a bit of grip, which was a bit strange. But there's one reason I'll get into in a minute as to why I changed them. So now I've got Dunlop Roadsmart 4s on, so thank you to Dunlop for sending them to us. Now these have apparently got lots more longevity, lots more stick than the Roadsmart 3s. I've never had the Roadsmart 3s, but what I do like about these is the tread. Now the tread is really quite deep. Obviously they're brand new tyres, there's loads of tread on there, but the dissipation, these lines, they not only do the job well, but they look good as well. They must, obviously they spend millions of pounds working out what the best way of dissipating water out is, and then they've put all these lines and all these patterns on it to do just its job. And I've got to say, riding up here today has been amazing. So on the back, I'm not sure whether you can see, I'll have to put some extra pictures in here for you, but the tread is really, really nice. The tyres are really sticky, and in the wet they're performing really, really well. So we're going to go and ride with them on the bike, see what I think. Right, so now I'm riding on these Dunlop Roadsmart 4s. What I have noticed about the bike in comparison to the Michellin Pilot 6s is that the bike is so much more nimble. I don't know what it is. It's almost as if the Michellin tyres were gripping far too much, and they made the bike feel really quite heavy in comparison to these tyres. Now it might be that they're brand new, but I have done the 100 miles of tentative riding to make sure that they're kind of worn in and that they're okay, because they are brand new tyres. But what I have noticed is that they just make the bike feel so much more nimble. Now, I was riding with the Michellin Pilot 6s on, and I've got to say, they were so sticky. The tyres were amazing. I took them down through France, up through Spain, and then further 2 trips in Spain. And they performed admirably. The tyres, they don't even look as though they've been, don't even look like they've been worn. They certainly don't look squared off or anything at all. They're actually really, really nice. Still, now, I had one big issue, and that one big issue led me to change my bike, which was a real pain. Although my bike was due to be changed anyway, I had to change my bike because of the miles, all that sort of stuff, because of the miles we do. And I had the tyres put onto the new bike, because the tyres that were coming with the new BMW, this one, were A41s. And to be honest with you, I would never have a set of A41s on my bike again. The front tyre was brilliant, actually. It was the rear tyre that was just awful. It squared off really quickly. I think I had about 3,000 miles out of it. It was just awful tyres. Now obviously lots of different people have different experiences on tyres. My experience wasn't good, and looking through forums across Europe, specifically on the GSA, there's a massive issue with the A41s. So I didn't want to go there again, hence the fact that I bought some Michellin Pilot 6s to go abroad with. The reason I brought the Michellin was that they have always had such a great name. They've always performed really well, got a massive following, but I couldn't get hold of Michellin Road, oh, what are they called? I couldn't get hold of the Michellin Road Techo ones, and they're my favourite tyre at them. Well, they were, so I couldn't get hold of them, so I had to settle for the Michelins. Now, I didn't think I had to settle. I thought, wow, these are brilliant tyres, you know, they're world renowned, people all over the world have them, people rave about the tyres. These are going to be really, really good tyres. Perhaps my expectations were a little bit high, I don't know. In the dry, fantastic tyres. In the wet, kind of fantastic. I say that loosely because I had quite a lot of slips and slides in the wet on those tyres, even though they were warmed up and I'd been riding for a while. Quite a lot of slips on there. So, the one thing that really got to me with these tyres was that on cruise control, so I put this on cruise control at 52. Now if I just gently take my hands off the handlebars, look at that, straight as a die, the bike is straight as a die. Now on the Michellin tyres, I would put the cruise control on, and with the cruise control on, the bike would do that in a straight line, lean to the left, which meant I had to really lean to the right, and it almost wanted to steer to the right, and I thought, wrongly, I thought there's something wrong with this bike. Had BMW have a look at it. They did everything, took it all apart on the front, put it all back together, everything was fine. And then they came out with a printed sheet saying, we've tried everything, have you been loading your panniers up unevenly? And I said, well, you know, I'm a seasoned traveller on the bike. It doesn't mean that I don't get things wrong. We all make mistakes. However, I've tried it with full panniers, with empty panniers, without the panniers, and it still makes the bike lean to the left, and I'm having to lean to the right to counterbalance it when it's on cruise control. And if you think the tours that we do, there are some stretches that I use cruise control, like on a motorway or dual carriageway, to get to a certain place, so we use cruise control, and I don't want to be battling with the bike all the way. Now I had no choice, but because the tyres were like 380 quid, so I had no choice but to use them. And I felt like I was always battling the bike, no matter whether it was on cruise control or not cruise control. I always felt that I was battling the bike to keep it upright. And I know that sounds really, really weird, and it's only a tiny little bit, but it meant so much on the ride as to how my ride felt. It didn't feel very smooth, and I was almost compensating all the time for the fact that the tyres seemed to want to go over to the left and pull my bike to the right. So, got hold of Dave from Avon Tyres, Avon and Dunlop, and very kindly, they sent myself and Mark, as you know, a set of Dunlop Roadsmart 4s to try. So I've done about 50, 100 miles, something like that, just to scrub them in. And it's a bit grotty today, and I thought it would be perfect, as Mark's out riding that bike, the one that we're following. I thought it would be absolutely perfect to come along and see what they're like, talk about what they're like as we're riding along in this grotty weather. So, first impressions of the tyres when I put them on. I think I may have already said, because I was so excited, that it's made my bike feel light as a feather again. I don't know why the Michelin's made the bike feel a little bit heavier, but these tyres have made my bike feel nimble again, even though I didn't realise that the Michelin's, in my view, had made the bike feel heavy and not unmanoeuvrable, but not the best. Just going to get pelted now. Yay. However, when I put it onto cruise control, my bike is straight as a die. I'm not fighting with the bike at all. The bike is doing exactly what I want. In this sort of weather, those grooves and the tread pattern is just working its magic. I haven't had one slip or one tight butt clenching moment or anything like that. And I was finding without realising it, that I was having quite a few with the Michelin tyres, and it was starting to affect the way that I was riding, because I'd be looking ahead, as we always do, but my vision was starting to come down to look at the road ahead, because I was really worried about that slippage. And invariably, when slippage happens on a bike, you just get on with it. You think, oh, my bike slipped then. But it was becoming a little bit too many times, if you know what I mean. It was happening too much. There's still an awful lot of tread on those Michelin tyres. I had done probably about 5,000, 6,000 miles on this, so I think they'd be on course to run until they were like 10, 11,000 miles. So no problem there, but the big problem I had was it made the bike, unbeknown to me until I fitted these, feel really sluggish and wanting to pull to the left, which meant my whole riding style was changing, and I was beginning to doubt whether I was something mental going on in my head and I wasn't able to ride properly. And thankfully, putting these tyres on, it's been a revelation. It's like I've got my bike back. It's like I'm able to ride it again, which makes it's just unbelievable. I just love it. Anyway, these tyres, I would say they're not as quiet as the Michelins, but only marginal amount of noise coming from these tyres. They're certainly not like the Anarchies, where I thought that it sounded like an old Defender Land Rover going down the road, you know, that woo, that noise. These ones are really quite quiet. It'd be interesting to see what the longevity of the tyres are, and whether the longevity that the manufacturers say about over the Roadsmart 3s is there. I'll put the information up on a card because I can't remember. It's something like 10 or 15% extra grip and 10 or 15% extra longevity, something like that. But the first impressions of these tyres are that I've got my confidence back. I don't want to get overconfident, because you shouldn't do that as a rider. I feel like I've got a lot of my confidence back in the fact that I'm not now looking all the time at what's right in front of me. I'm able to look up ahead and plan properly again. And I suppose in a roundabout way, it's a really odd thing to think, isn't it? You know, I didn't think that the tyres would affect slow moving, the way that bike handles, all of that sort of stuff, everything on the bike as much as it did, because I was going for a premium tyre. Now, these Dunlop tyres, they're not the cheapest tyres. I think they're a good price, but at the moment, you know, this weather is horrible. It's 9 degrees. It's been raining. We've had weather warnings for days, it seems, down here in Cornwall. There's standing water everywhere. I feel like I'm riding on a dry road with these tyres. Now, it may be that it's because they're brand new. It may be because I haven't ridden very much. I've only done like 50 or 100 miles, something like that, just to scrub them in. But the confidence that I feel that it's given me back to remain in my proper lines, to plan ahead, the stability of the bike, I'm really, really impressed by these tyres. So I'll leave it probably 3,000 or 4,000 miles, see how I've got on, and then come back and do another video and see how I feel about the tyres. But at the moment, these are as good as, if not better than, the Road Techo ones that I rave about and I really wanted on my bike, but because we couldn't get hold of them, I had to settle for other tyres. And I'm so glad that I've got these back. It's like having a brand new bike again. And I know that this is nigh on brand new, this bike, but it's like having a different feel of bike. I can ride it properly again, and it's really changed my perception of tyres. That it's not only the grip, it's all the stuff around it, how the bike behaves when you're riding slowly, how the bike behaves when you're riding at speed. The only thing for these tyres that I need to, or want to, I'm looking forward to finding out about, is the longevity of them, because as you all know, both myself and Mark, we are tour guides for Michellin Motorcycle Tours. So shameless plug, We got some tours going next year. I'm on the Spain and Picos, or Northern Picos and Portugal tour. Or it's this Northern Spain and Portugal's tour. And then that's in September 2023. And then in October, I am doing the Grand Tour, which takes us all the way down to Granada. They're both fantastic tours. Check them out on our website or on Michelin's website. We've got a code. I'll put the code up now. But I'll see you in the next video. And hopefully these tyres will remain as good as they are at the moment.